if you're planning to immigrate to the UK with family, with dependents, your spouse and your children, you have to think twice because there is an information I want you to be aware of, which is not so good news for international students. Now, the Home Secretary of the United Kingdom, Suella Braverman, has actually rushed out a lot of stringent comes on international students who want to come to the UK, especially those that are coming with dependent. Now, there is a proposal that was released to the UK Parliament on Tuesday. Now, what it means is that overseas students will not be able to bring their family with them except on some, very special circumstances, because the government is actually seeking to reduce immigration numbers. One of the things you want to know about this government is that there's a government that will come and they will like to increase immigration, and there are others that will come and they will want to reduce immigration. So you really have to think about this before planning your immigration to the country to immigrate, especially in the UK. Now, what I've said is that only overseas students that are on research programs, for example, if you are a research masters or you are doing PhD, then you won't be able to come with dependents under this new rule. I mean, the overall rule is to actually curb migration. Now, there's been a couple of reactions to this story. Now, one of the lecturers or the lecturers union in the UK said that this is deeply shameful and anti-immigrant. While universities said that this will actually affect, women and some other people from other countries in different ways. I want to take a deep breath before actually mentioning this next statement. I am a Nigerian, and there is a stunning statistics about Nigerians in the UK. Now, Nigeria had the highest number of dependents on study visa as of 2022 with about 60,923 dependent visas. Now, Indian nationals had the second highest of number of dependents with an increase from, 2019 was the Indian had about 3,000, and then in 2022 about 39,000. Then followed by Pakistan and some Bangladesh, and then those in Sri Lanka. Now, what Braverman, which is the UK's Home Secretary, have actually said is that, she's committed to reducing immigration to about tens of thousands. So you really have to, brace yourself for figures released, recently that the net migration to the UK is more than 700,000, So what the Labour have said is that, they are not really going to, oppose the measures because proper enforcement is long overdue. So it means that they have been thinking about this for a very long time. Now, one thing to know is that this policy was written in a statement, was released in a written ministerial statement as the government answered a very urgent question on whether the Braverman told officials to organize private speed awareness course in breach of the ministerial code. Is this something that is in a capacity to do and all that? Downing Street has rejected suggestions that the UK Prime Minister Rishi Sunak is differing whether to launch a formal inquiry into Braverman's conduct. And one thing to know is that under the proposal, what the government is planning to do is that they're going to remove the ability for international students to switch out of the work route into the work route before their studies have been completed. And before now, if you are a student and maybe for some reason you're able to get a skilled job, maybe a sponsorship job, you will be able to switch to a work visa even before you graduate. I mean, that was something interesting. Okay, now, as well as remove some of this right, there will also be review of some of this maintenance requirement for students and dependents. I mean, the reason is to really crack down on some of these, unusual education providers. I mean, there are people, they just want to help people immigrate and they charge them so much, so they really want to make sure they also curb some of these, things. I mean, people know what to do to get to the UK, but they're really looking at this. Now, one of the things that Braverman wrote is that the immigration statistics are highlighted an unexpected rise in the number of dependents to the UK alongside international students, and she mentioned that about 132,000 visas were granted to dependents or sponsor students in the year ending of December 2022. That is about an 8-fold increase from 16,000 that was observed in 2019. What happened? Why sudden increase in migration? I mean, a lot of things are changing. You know, if you take Nigeria, for example, a lot of things are happening and people just want to migrate. And what they said that these changes will take place or, you know, come into effect from January on, you know, 2024. So it's an opportunity and a lot of time for international students to plan ahead, right? And now, if you think about some of the official statistics that have been released this week, they are expected to show that net migration increased from 500,000, you know, in the 12 months or to June 2022 to more than 700,000 in the year to December, you know. So it is a lot of things to think about, you know. Some of the general secretary and, you know, some of the universities and college union have said that this is a vindictive move and that this is deeply shameful, you know. So these are some of the things that you want to think about when you're immigrating to the UK or to, you know, if you're immigrating to the UK. Now, think about this now that most of the reason why people immigrate is because of family. They want a better life for their family. They want to be able to be with their family, you know, while they study, right? It kind of helps all of this emotional stability. Now, if that particular privilege of being able to study alongside and have your family with you is removed, then, you know, people have to think about what their priority is. Now, is your priority actually to get the education, to get the master's, or you want a better life for your family while you're studying? So these are some of the reasons why you want to think about, am I going to think about an alternative, you know, in terms of checking out some other country? I'm an advocate of studying in Canada. I'm an international student in Canada. So in Canada, even studying diploma program, you can come with your dependents, right? Diploma programs or masters or PhD, respective course-based, research-based, you can't come with a student. You just have to make sure that you have all of the requirements, everything that's required to get everything, you know, during the application. And you can apply for your spouse or children when you are doing your application. You just make sure that you have enough funds to show that you are capable of taking care of them. So in this particular case, in terms of this sponsorship, dependence and all that, I'm actually going to give it to Canada. The immigration system in Canada is very stable. You know, they hardly come, you know, maybe every 1 year or 2 years try to change immigration and all that. In fact, Canada is doing the actual opposite. They actually say that they want more families to be united with students. So that's why the spousal open work permit, they really try to, you know, get it, you know, looked at within the shortest possible time so that, you know, people can reunite with their family. This is a very important part. So if you're coming to if you're planning to immigrate in 2024 specifically, and you want to, you know, you want to go with dependents or you want your dependents to come join you, then I think you have to think better of the country. So I will invite you to come apply to Canada. And if you're planning to apply to Canada, and I know it's a very difficult process, so I can guide you one-on-one mentorship to explain, you know, kind of guide you through admission, scholarship, visa application, and all of these processes in my mentorship program. So you can definitely check out my mentorship program and reach out to me. I will be able to guide you one-on-one. So that's going to be it for this video. The link is going to be in the pinned comment and also in the video description. Reach out to me and I will help you to, you know, in your journey to Canada. So this is going to be it for this video. If you like this video, consider hitting that like button and also subscribe if you haven't, so that whenever new videos are released, you'll be the first person to get notified. Once again, thank you. I'll see you in the next video.